Hello guys, and welcome to round 5 of TUF1 season 4. As you can see, we are in Monaco. Of course, the qualifying is like nothing else on the calendar. It is one of the most exciting qualifyings we will get on the calendar. But yeah, if anyone is joining us right now, this is round number 5, and we will hop on board with Luca. Let's just get the track map up and full track. So anyone is in the stream, let's see how excited all of you are. I think actually Risa was the first person out, so let's hop on board with him. So anyone in the chat, please let me know in the chat how excited you are to see this race, or how excited you see the quali, because the race isn't really that exciting, as we all know, but the qualifying, it's always exciting to see how quickly people can go around, especially the likes of Luca, Julian, even the likes of Andy Hamres, who unfortunately isn't in this race. He did win the last race we had here, which was last season. As we get on to Risa, he starts his fast lap. He does have two Renaults out ahead of him. He takes a wide entry, gets nice and close to the wall. And let's see how he takes this long left-hander. You want to keep it as close as you can. Very good slingshot into the right, very nice. Avoid that little bump. Nice and tight around the hairpin. You almost want to take a late apex through there. It does make contact with the wall, but it isn't invalidated, which is a plus on his side. So let's just see how he takes the hairpin. He does lock up a little bit, but keeps it nice and tight around there. Very well kept through there. See how he gets through the left. Very, very close. Almost flat out round here. Clips the wall on the inside. He does set purple. He still keeps that purple. And let's see what his time is. It's a 183 from Risa. See who the closest person is on track. And Julian. Let's see where 111.05. Let's see, the racing point would be Dobby, and he's invalidated and coming into the pits. The next person possibly crossing the line, I think, will be Dominator. And on the mediums, he gets a 110.8, which puts him provisionally 4th. The next person to cross the line is starting his lap. Is Stinner. Bats goes 5th with a 110.8 on the soft tyres, so potentially more time for Dominator to move up the order. Let's see how Santero gets on, and it's a 110.6, which puts him in 5th place. Let's see who the next person. It is a Renault, so PMP Fox. He does collide with the wall a little bit, but it's a 197. It does put him 3rd. And Sherwin puts himself in a 110.4, which puts him 6th. See how Andy gets on. He does have Dominator in his way, but he does back off. He does clip the wall and he comes straight into the pits. I think the next person to cross the line will be Dreamsy. He is on a 1 minute at the moment. So I think he may be, yeah, he's going to finish the lap. He may have had an incident. Let's see where Big Man is. I do believe he's just doing a lap and he's going around the hairpin right now. Boogeyman sets a purple sector too, but as we know, the sectors are glitched, so it may only come out in, say, P12, P13. Oh, he loses the back end a little bit, gets it on too early. It's a 111. It does go 10th, but it's really unfortunate. They had that little squirm of the rear end. Let's hop on board with Eden. Evening, Scuzz, mate. How you getting on? How you getting on? Ah, Waitsy. I should have known it was you, Waitsy. But yeah. Let's hop on board with Dobby as he is on his fast lap. Gonna get his telemetry up as well. Just checking on when he's braking. Could have gone a little bit tighter through that right-hander, but keeps the momentum well through the final corner. And he gets a 195, which puts him in provisional P3. And now let's hop on board with Julian as he's on a fast lap. I do believe he had a purple first sector, which is always good to see. Of course, he is about 1.5 tenths down on Reese's time at the moment. Let's see how he takes the chicane. Very tight, maybe a little bit wide on the exit, but he is keeping the time up, and he does get a purple sector too, almost 2.5 tenths down on his time, or up, I'm not sure. Final corner very clean, gets on the power, and it's a 180. It's free. He made up 4.5 tenths, or just over, and it's blistering pace. Maybe we can get into the 1.7s. Maybe we will. I completely missed Luca getting into second, and only 400ths behind Julian. It's crazy. But let's hop on board with Reset, as I do believe he is on the lap, and he did set a purple first sector. So maybe he will be the person to break into the 1.7s. Does lock up a little bit, but keeps it nice and tight. Again, the same as Julian, goes a little bit wide on the exit, but he keeps the momentum going. Let's see how he takes this little right left. Oh, he does a Tokyo drift around, then he keeps it. He probably lost quite a lot of time through there. It doesn't really improve. Sorry about that. But yeah, what a save from Reese. He does a little Tokyo drift action around. And I do believe he's going to come in. He does invalidate anyways. So let's hop on board with Stinner. He has just started his lap. Maybe someone closer to the end of their lap. Let's hop on board with Dominator. He does take that very wide. But let's see what his sector split is looking like. He was 9 tenths. So that would put him in P8 if it were to stay as it is. He gets it nice and straight, plonks the power down, and he goes into the P7. just ahead of Stinner, just over a tenth. But anyone who is in the stream, predictions for pole position, and let's say top 3 in the race. Let's say we hop on board with Toma. He does get a purple sector too. I didn't quite see his sector split. So let's see what this time is. It's a 197, which puts him just behind Dominator. Ever so close to being. Ever so close. Let's see where Fnatic comes out. It's a 110-2. It does put him up into 10th place. And let's hop on board with Julian as he's on his flyer. He's 400ths up on his time. Corey thinks that Dobby's going to steal pole. He is on a 192 at the moment, so he'd have to make up 1.2 seconds or even faster. But let's stick on board with Julian. Let's see what his sector split for sector 2 is. Nice and tight to that wall. Get that extra rotation, lowering the gears. Waitsy thinks that Luca's going to get pole. As Julian is 1.5 tenths up on his time. Let's see where this time will be. It will be in the 1.7s, no doubt, but let's see how quick it actually is. It's a 1.77. Oh my god, let's hop on board with Luca now. I believe that was 1.3. Oh, I invalidated. Oh. He just went a bit too far. Just went a bit too far. And I think Dobby is going to come into the pits here. Yes, he does. Let's hop on board with Arisa, as he does have Andy ahead of him on his outlap, but he does move out of the way. Luca, Julian and Dobby. Waitsy says for the top 3 in a race, as Risa gets a very nice line through there. Very nice line. Of course you can go flat out. He didn't get a purple sector, so collides with the wall a little bit. Miles is ahead of him in the Ferrari. Maybe he can get a little bit of a toe off him. He does get up on the curve a little bit, and it's going to be slower. Oh no, it's 1.3, 0.13. It is a little bit quicker, but he just extends the gap to Andy. So let's hop on board with Andy. He needs to make up at least 6 attempts to get close. He does, he does get on the power a little bit too early. And he nearly loses it, but what a save from Andy there, and it looks like he may have pulled out of this lap. He's going to save his tyres and his fuel. Just try. Yeah, he definitely has enough time. But as it stands, Julian, the only person in the 1.7s with a blister in time, I have to say. And then there's only another 4 drivers that have made it below the 109 mark. That being Luca with a 1080, Risa in a 1081, Andy with a 1087, and PMP Fox with a 1089. Let's see. Fitted Bats has got mediums on. I think he's just going to stick with that time as it is. We have Smoggy in here. Okay, Trunda's saying Julian on pole in other news, water is wet. Well, you're not wrong, but it would be nice to see something different. Especially in Monaco, where the qualifying is the most exciting thing about this race weekend. and he was 0.023 seconds up on this first sector split. Could have got it a little bit tighter through that chicane, and let's see what his second sector split is. He's 0.187 seconds up. He did lose it a little bit through going on the curb, but let's see where this time can put him. I don't think it'll be enough to catch up to Risa, and it's basically 1.5 tenths it does, move him a little bit further away from Fox. So let's hop on board with Fox and see what he can do. So the gap, let's see to the leader. So everyone, it's a 1.1 second gap to PMP Fox at the moment, and then it's a 2 second gap to Stinner. So the top 10 separated by 2.1 seconds, which is crazy, as a lot of people are getting out on their laps at the moment, and I think Luca may be coming into the pits as it is. Yep, Julian. I think he's trying to improve his time. He did get a purple sector too there. Oh, he did slide a little bit going out of that corner. He does go a little bit deep. But let's see what his time is. Can he improve on his 107.7? No, he can't. He's 2 tenths up. Down. I'm not sure. He's 2 tenths down on his time. Any person who can theoretically catch is now Risa, and he needs to make up to 4 tenths on his time. Shawn, what happened to you? What happened to him? I missed that. Did he bin it? I don't know what happened. Oh, I think Shawn did bin it, and Risa, no. He invalidated, but I think he's going to carry on and see what this time would have been. Oh, little bit of contact with the wall. So hop on board with PMP Fox, who has also invalidated, and Risa comes into the pits. Dobby, who hasn't invalidated, is 0.12 tenths up on his time. That is 0.023, and he did invalidate. He turned in a bit too early, but Dominator, let's see what time he can get. It is just slower. Let's see Stinner as he's invalidated. CF1atic as he's coming through. I think he's going to be coming into the pits. Bats, let's see what he can get. He is on the mediums. He did get faster, but it isn't enough. So, Luca with a five place grid penalty. I didn't catch that. This has made it very, very interesting, because you do not want to be near the middle of the pack. So as it stands after quali, the front row is the usual suspects in Julian and Luca, then Risa and Andy on the second row, then PMP Fox and Dobby in P5 and 6, Toma and Dominator in P7 and 8. Then the last row in the top 10 is Stinner and Boogeyman. 11th and 12th are occupied by Eden and Bats, and F1atic, Shawn, Dimal, Santero, Dreamsy and Pricey. So, qualifying. I'm not really too sure on who I think will win. I think with that Luca 5-place grid penalty, it's going to make it very difficult for him to get through the field. It'll be really difficult for anyone to get through the field, a matter of fact. But I think starting on pole for Julian, I think very rarely you see people who qualified on pole win the race at Monaco. But with that 5-place grid penalty, you see a Luca down in 7th, and then everyone above, who was 7th or above, gets bumped up. So Toma gets bumped up to 6th, Dobby to 5th, Fox to 4th, Andy to 3rd, and Risa to 2nd. But like I was saying before, very rarely do we see the pole sitter at Monaco win the race, as safety cars are very, very likely at this track because of the narrow nature of the track. As you see, the predicted strategies here are 1 stop from soft to medium. I think that's definitely what everyone will be looking for, showing an F1-atic collide during their formation lap. Let's go on to full track map and let's have a look at the tyre choice for everyone. Outside the top 10, it's only Sean who's gone for the softs, and Pricey has gone for the hard tyres. So maybe he's looking for that longevity. Maybe. But an issue that is definitely prominent with the hard tyres is the fact that it takes so long to get warm, and they take so long to actually bed into the track, as Pricey and Dreamsy are the last 2 people to make it back to the grid. Let's hop on board. This isn't a very good camera. It's supposed to be at turn 1, isn't it? 3, 4, 5, and we're off. Let's see how good of a start Julian had. And he's squeezing Risa. And there haven't been any incidents so far. But Julian, what a cracking start for him. He is already 1.6 seconds. There we go, it's all sorted. Let's have a look at the position changes as it is. We have a yellow flag in the hairpin, but I think maybe it was a Renault of Dreamsy just lagging a bit and going very slow. But position changes at the moment. Fox overtook Andy. Toma's overtaken, I believe that is Dominator and Dobby to get himself. He's only overtaken 1 person, which is Dobby, who finds himself down in P7, but Toma finds himself up into P5. Dominator overtook 2 people in Luca and Dobby, so he is in P6. We do have some people pitting in right now. We have Eden, F1-atic, Showen, Darmiles and Boogeyman all pitting in. And as we see, Bats has moved up 2 places from his starting position of 12th, and Pricey started last, opted for the hard tyres, and he's gone up 7 places. And Santera and Dreamsy both started towards the back of the grid, and they've both made up 4th places. So if you're Dreamsy starting on the mediums, I believe. He could be going for a one-stop onto the hards. Or the softs, depending on how he wants to do it. If he wants to go aggressive, he could definitely go on, extend the medium stint and go straight on to the softs. But at the moment, no one is really. The highest medium runner is Bats at the moment. And we see Luca overtaking Dobby going into turn 1, and he's looking for a little bit of a comeback drive as he's starting to hunt down Dominator. See how he gets on, and let's hop on board with Toma as he's getting close to Andy. Let's go on to the onboard cameras and see how he's getting on. Andy did have a little bit of a tight line, but he also had a little bit of his rear end squirrel out. He is dropping back a little bit, but so is Dominator, and Luca is getting so close to Dominator right now. Surely won't be looking at a dive, he's not close enough. And of course it is a very, very difficult place to dive. But let's see how Luca can fare with staying behind. Yeah, there aren't really many battles. As you see, Julian gets a 1:11.404 as his fastest lap, and Toma is still 4 tenths behind as Luca was getting very, very close, and he's going for the outside, and Dominator gives him all the space. Oh, Dominator just tried to get more of a entry angle onto that long left, and unfortunately Luca was on the outside, so I'm not sure what will happen there, but Dominator did come out worse as he does have some wing damage, so I wouldn't be surprised if he comes into the pits now. Yeah, Pricey is just... I'll bring up the position changes as Pricey. He did get overtaken by Santero, but he was running in 11th place. He did make up 7 places. Just checking. It doesn't look like he has any wing damage, so maybe he just got overtaken on track, and Miles gets a penalty for crossing the pit exit line, and Bats comes in. Not sure if he had a wing damage. It looks like he did. Yep, he's lost both of his end plates. So Pricey back up into 11th on the hard tyres, looking to go on an extended stint on these. And let's hop on board with the front runners as Toma. He's still behind. He's actually lost a bit of time to Andy now, as the last time we were on board with him. The last time we were on board with him, he was about 3 or 4 tenths behind, but now he's 8 tenths, so maybe Andy's trying to push a little bit and trying to get to close this gap to Fox, but Toma is still sticking in his DRS range. He wants to get this DRS so he can extend so he can keep up with him. He does get the first penalty awarded for multiple warnings, which isn't what he wants. As if it stays like this, he will drop down to P7, which granted is still in the points, but it's very disappointing to see that he's the first driver to pick up penalty for corner cutting and extending the track. Well, you can't really do that here, but mainly corner cutting. So let's hop on board with Luca now, as he is 2.5 tenths behind Dominator and is forming a little train behind him. He has Dobby, who is 7 tenths behind, and then Stinner, who's 6 tenths behind. And then the closest car to them is Santero, who is nearly 2.5 seconds. So let's hop on board with So on board with Luca again as he tries to go down the inside of Dominator again, and he tries to, oh, bit of a late move. He was defending the inside, he was defending the dive, but Luca was so close to him that he nearly, very, very nearly caught him there. But he does lose some time to Dominator. But Dominator and Dominator and Luca are the first two soft runners into the pits, and let's see what they go to. So Luca is opting for the mediums, and so is Dominator. And then we see Santero coming in, he is on the hards. Right now he did get a wing change. Let's see if is very close between Dominator and Luca, and let's see where both of them come out. They will come out in 13th and 14th. So let's have him aboard with Toma. He is a second behind. He is a second behind, but more importantly, the biggest gainer out of anyone in this race so far is Pricey. He has gained 10 places from the start of the race. It's currently the middle of lap number 7. Dreamsy as well has gained 8 places off the start. The biggest loser at the moment is Luca, who has lost 7 places off the start, but as we know he has just came out of the pits as he's still 3 tenths down on Dominator, and this gap is just gonna keep on staying the same. Let's hop on board with him as there is a little train forming here, starting off with Boogeyman in 10th. Then we have Eden just behind him, 3.5 tenths, then Showen 6 tenths back. Dominator is right on the gearbox of Showen. He wouldn't be smart to go for a move here as he doesn't, and Luca is just at the back of this train just watching, seeing if anyone slips up as he gets a great... Oh! He got so much overspeed on Dominator there. Showen defends the inside and Dominator opts for the outside, and there's very nearly a collision. And Dominator still sticking with the inside and the side by side, and Dominator just completely cuts off the hairpin. But it makes up the space. He gets the move done on Showen. And now Luca will be looking to do the same as he wants to stick as close as he can to Dominator. And Di Miles crashes out. Not sure where he crashed out. Or maybe he was just at the back and he went into the pits and retired. And he has left the session, but no safety car. No safety car as it stands. So currently 9 laps into this race. What is everyone thinking so far? Everyone in the chat. Let's get some interaction in here. So what is everyone thinking so far? Let's hop on board with Eden as he's 5.5 tenths down now, 2 tenths behind Boogeyman. And I think Boogeyman is really holding up this pack behind him as Showen is still... It goes all the way back to Showen. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 car. Nearly a 6 car train. It's a 5 car train at the moment. As there is a huge gap, and Reese is in the pits. Let's see what he comes out on. Andy's in the pits as well on the softs, and Reese will come out. Let's see how close it is, and it's not very close, but Toma is 7 tenths behind Risa. Luke is just pulling away with it at the moment, as you see. Andy is still... He's just coming out of the pits now, so maybe he had a 5-second penalty. He did cross the line. Dominator gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. And Boogeyman Boogeyman is down in 17th. But we have the two biggest gainers at the moment is Pricey and Dreamsy, both making up 10 places. As PMP Fox gets a 3-second warning, and Julian is already out of the pits. And will PMP Fox jump him? I don't think he will. I think Julian's gonna come out ahead of PMP Fox. Maybe it's gonna be very, very close, and he does. Oh. This has basically confirmed his first place. And unless something very, very drastic happens, I think he's going to be winning this, as Toma is in the pits now. He just comes out, he's on the mediums. Pricey jumps him. Let's see, Andy jumps him as well. Then we have the House of Eden, who won't quite get past, but Toma did jump him. And he is ahead of Dominator and Luca. Luca is finding it so tough to get past. He's still behind Dominator. He does make contact. Oh, will he loses his end plate? This is not something you want to do, and again, I think this is what costed Julian a win the last time Monaco was used. The fact that he had wing damage, and Hamres just capitalised on it. As you see, PMP Fox and Dobby. And then Stinner's in the pits as well. He is putting on medium tyre. And Dreamsy jumps both of them. Dreamsy's on the mediums, I do believe. Yeah, Dreamsy and Pricey haven't made a stop yet. Gonna be very, very interesting. As oh, what's happened to Pricey? What has happened to him? I think he may have collided with the wall, and he's got wing damage. He's letting everyone past him, and this is just unfortunate to see. See Boogeyman, who retires in the pits, and Pricey is just letting everyone pass as he's lost his. This must be red wing damage for Pricey. Is so disappointing to see, because he had such a good start. He was up into P6, I believe, P5, P6, and just one incident can ruin your race, just like it has right here. And he just gets so much understeer, and he opts to completely skip the chicane, and he gets the 5-second penalty for corner cutting. And this is not what you want to see if you're Pricey or even a fan of Pricey. And it's just very, very unfortunate to see he does cut that corner as well. But anyways, let's hop on board with Dobby. Actually, let's hop on board with Eden. Pricey has opted to retire from this race, which is very, very unfortunate. But let's hop on board with Eden. He does have a little bit of a train behind him. He has Dobby 6 tenths behind him, then Dominator is another 6 tenths behind, then Luca is 4 tenths. So as it stands, Julian is P1 with a gap of 6 seconds to Risa. And we have Fox behind Risa, and there's an overtake. Andy has got track position on Dreamsy. Let's not forget, Dreamsy hasn't pitted yet. So yeah, let's keep on. And Toma overtakes Dreamsy as well. I think it may be time for Dreamsy to come in for his stop. And Luca is just keeping this gap to Dominator. And he's finding it so tough. Dominator is doing a great job of defending. But looking at how it should be, I think, with it being so difficult, and Luca having wing damage as it is, he does give a little love tap. He does give multiple love taps to Dominator, just letting him know that he's still there. And just looking at the gap between oh, Dominator, I'm not sure what you're doing there, pal. I don't think that's the right way to keep someone behind you. But yeah, Risa is 21 seconds ahead of Fox, and I think unless something very drastic happens, this is going to be your top two to end the race on. Everyone has made one stop apart from Dreamsy, who is still going. He will be looking to go, I'd say he'd be looking to go around 28-29 as Stinner gets another penalty. Let's see what the penalties are at the moment. We see Fox with 3 seconds, Toma with 3 seconds, Dominator with 6, and Stinner with 6 as well. As Stinner is within a 10th of Showen, and I think Showen is locking up a lot. He does cut the hairpin a little bit, but just hopping back to Luca, he's getting so close. But as the saying goes, close but no cigar for the time being. But we do know Julian is missing an end plate, so he's gonna find it getting harder and harder to turn in the car, and he thinks that he doesn't need to pit. He really doesn't, as Dominator is out of DRS. And oh, contact between Dominator and Luca. Of course, he didn't go into the pit. He did get pitted into the wall, but he has lost time. He is 1.2 seconds down, and Dominator has lost time to Dobby whilst in the midst of that battle. And Luca is doing everything he can to try and close this gap up. It was laps and laps in the making, that overtake, and it just didn't come to fruition. But Luca is just gaining so much. He didn't even use his overtake. He hasn't got much overtake left as Luca gets a penalty. He is on 3 seconds now. He has only got less than 10%, and pretty much the same can be said by Dominator, Dobby. Eden has got 60% left. Dreamsy's on 74, Toma's on 35, Andy's on 44, Fox is on 57, Reese is on 33, and I'm surprised that Julian has even been using it. He doesn't need to. He just has that overall pace that he just doesn't even need to. But I don't know who it was, but I did see a yellow fuel indicator come up. I think it may have been Research. Pricey has now left the session. Someone will do F1 as he is 3.5 tenths behind Bats. Let's just see if he can make a move or not. I don't think he will, and I think 14th is going to be safe for Bats. Hop on board with this battle between Luca and Dominator again, but the only difference is that Dominator has got his DRS now, and Luca's just going a little bit wide, just letting Dominator know that he's still there. And the closest battle on track was actually Bats and Showen. I'm not sure. Showen's in the pits. I think he may have had an incident of losing his wing, and so is F1atic, but he's changing to the hards. Oh no. Fox picks up another penalty, so he's on 6 seconds now. Which, if it were to end as it is, Andy would be getting that third spot on the podium. So let's have a look at the tyres. Dreamsy's on 17 old lap old tyres. Wow. And yeah, he's just still rolling with him, and Eden's going. He's got a lap younger tyres than Dreamsy, but he's still got the pace he has. He does have Dobby behind him, and behind Dobby is Dominator, and then behind Dominator is Luca. As he just shows himself on the outside show and gets another 3-second penalty, and that is his first one. I'm sorry. And stops. Fnatic and Showen are the only people to do 2 stops, and Dreams he still hasn't stopped. I don't get how he's done 17 laps then. I don't get how he's done 18 laps, it should be 20. Oh well. But yeah, let's hop on board back with Luca, because this battle between himself and Dominator is still going on. We are just past the halfway point of this race, lap 20 out of 39, and Dominator gets his third penalty, and Luca does try for the dive, and Eden is finally coming in for his stop, and that bumps up everyone 1 spot, and I think Eden will be confined to the back of the grid for the time being. And let's just have a look at the interval to the leader, and just Julian has already lapped, I believe, there's bats. Ooh. I'm sorry guys for the yawning, but he has already lapped 4 cars on track. Anyone who is in a stream, leave your predictions at how many more cars Julian will lap before the end of this race. My prediction is that he will lap up to Toma. I just think the gap between Toma and Julian at the moment is too much. But yes, I do think he will lap Dreamsy, Dobby, Dominator, even Luca, Santero and Stinner. Oh, very late from Dominator to cut across, and he goes for a move on the outside, but he just doesn't make it stick, and he gets a little bit of contact onto the rear end of Dominator, and this fight has just been going on. It's been going on for the longest time. Goes for the dive, contact. Dominator just left no room for Luca at all. Granted, it is a dive, a very tight dive to make, but Dominator just left no room for Luca to maneuver. That rhymed. As you see a little gap forming, well, not a little, huge gap, and Dominator just sends it. And Dreamsy's just letting him go. He knows that that's not his battle to fight against Luca and Dominator. So now they get bumped up a spot, a couple spots more. which sees Luca in P8 and Dominator in P7, and it's just so much. And we see, where is Julian at? He is behind Luca and Dominator. They will have to let him pass. They have been blue flagged, so both of them will have to let. Oh, and Luca, I'm not sure what he's done, and Luca's got a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, and Dominator will have to let Julian pass as well, or else he will be ignoring blue flags. And Julian just says, let me past. And I thought I'd never see the day that Julian laps Luca, but it's happened. Oh, and Luca makes a half-hearted attempt at a dive into turn 1, Sandoval. And this battle between them has invited the pressure of Santero and Stinner. It's just... Risa has gone into the pits, and BMP Fox has closed the gap down. He's 3.5 seconds behind. Let's have a look at the tyres. So Reese has gone to the softs. Maybe he thinks that he can do it. Yeah, never thought I'd see the day. Never thought I'd see the day that Julian would lap Luca's dreams. He's finally in the pits after 22 laps on the mediums. He does get a wing change. I'm not sure what happened to Luca. He had a crash. He's lost both of his end plates, and it's just getting from bad to worse for the Luca. And I think he has to pit in now. It's such a shame for Luca. As PMP Fox does come and overtake Risa, same as Andy is. Risa, not sure what happened to him. Not sure what happened to Risa. But he's put on his mediums. 14 lap old mediums. Yeah, it was very unlucky for Luca. He is getting his front wing changed, and he will be dropping down the order. Yeah, it's very unfortunate for Luca. Yeah, Reese has fitted 14 lap old, well, yeah, he's fitted his old mediums. I do see yellows in sector 2, I'm not sure. Oh, Santero put it in the wall, and he's, luckily ghosting is on. Santero is on the hards, but he has lost an end plate, and Toma has picked up another penalty. He's on 6 seconds at the moment. And Showen has picked up another penalty, which takes him to 6 seconds. Yeah, Luca will be very, very disappointed. He'll be very disappointed at how his race has gone, but it's going to be very close to see if Julian can lap the whole field. He is one of only 4 drivers not to pick up a penalty, but he's getting on the back of Dobby now. Sector 3 yellows, I'm not sure what that was for. But yeah, Julian is just steaming ahead. As we have Risa is on the back of Tomer. He really doesn't need to overtake him. We see yellows in sector 3. I'm not sure what that was for. It was Dobby letting through Julian from F1 gets a 3-second penalty there. Yeah. But yeah, Andy is still 7 times behind BMP Fox. Oh, his rear left clips the inside wall and he's spun. But luckily for him, Tomer isn't close to him. And Risa just sends it down the inside of Tomer. As I said, he didn't need to overtake him, but he's just gone for it. And yeah, Risa... I'm guessing Risa had some wing damage, so he pit back onto mediums, and the only mediums he that was those ones who went 14 laps. It's a VSC. I'm not sure what has happened to cause this VSC. Let's just go through. I think Bats, unless it's a wing glitch. There are a lot of people without end plates. F1 and Bats don't have any wing plates, and Bats has completely lost his front wing. F1, maybe it was an incident. Oh, Showen's coming in as well. Reese's got a drive through. This is not good for Risa, but it's excellent news for Tomer. Risa does have a drive through and he elects to serve it now. Tomer is 2.2 seconds behind, but he will extend this gap because of that drive through for Risa. And let's see if he comes out ahead of Dobby. I do believe he will. It'll be very, very tight between the two. Risa did have the inside line. He does exit crossing the line, but he doesn't get a penalty for it. So Risa on the same where worn tyres sector. Oh, Dominator's put it in the wall. Dominator has put it in the wall. We have another VSC. Surely this should be a safety car. Surely. Nope, it's sticking to a VSC and Stinner's pitting in. And Luca's pitting in as well. This is the perfect opportunity for Luca to replace his wing. And he sticks in 9th. The person he was fighting in Dominator has now just... Yeah, maybe Risa has to fly, but he is 20. He is 20. He is... How many seconds is that behind? He will be 10 seconds roughly behind Tomer. Let's hop on board with the penalties of this session as it stands. Andy will be getting that third spot. He is 5 seconds behind Toma. But I think you guys in the chat are right. Reese's mediums 19 laps. They really just, he will really struggle to get those to the end. So we have Andy. We only have 3 drivers without penalties now, being Andy, Julian and Dobby. We have Luca on 1 lap old softs, trying to just get quick laps after quick laps in, but PMP Fox, he's just sticking ahead of him, and Luca's gonna try and unlap himself from PMP Fox, and I think he may be able to, and he is. Lucas unlapped himself from PMP Fox, and if he isn't careful he'll get blue flags again. And now Lucas just gonna try and push on. He is 2.5 seconds behind Dreamsy. He does get fastest lap at 1:10.5. It's definitely a smart move from Luca, as he can try and close this gap as quick as he can. He's already made a second in the first twos, in the first sector. Let's see, he was 4 thousandths down on his fastest first sector, and look at that, he's already got it under a second to Dreamsy. This just shows his overall pace, as Julian gets a 198. And Dreamsy just lets him past. He knows that Luca's just got overall bags of pace. And now he's got 16 seconds to make up to Eden in the last 6 laps. And let's see how much time he can chunk off this. There isn't really any battles going on, apart from maybe Bats and F1atic. It doesn't look like Bats has any wing damage, so that's good. Let's look. Oh, F1atic's lost his front left end plate. But I don't think that he will let that affect him, as Stinner gets a 5-second penalty for speeding and he just retires. So we went from 18 down to 5. This is one of the cleaner Monaco races I've ever seen. Is oh. As Julian is just now coming up to the back of Dobby. There is sector 1 and I think it's Bats. No, it isn't, it's Stinner. Of course he has retired from this race. Oh, and F1atic has lost his front right end plate. Oh no. Julian gets the penalty now. There's only 2 people who are penaltyless, which is Dobby and Andy, both racing points setting the standard for how to be clean around Monaco. And let's see who Julian can lap next. It's looking like it can be Reese. He's only 5 seconds behind. But last time we were on board with Risa, he was 10 seconds behind Toma. Now the gap is 1.2 seconds. So he's really been putting his foot down, but This tyre wear has got to be so hard to control his car. Let's have a look at the ERS for both drivers. Toma's on 50% and he does have a 20% advantage over Risa, which can be used wisely. But just seeing this gap and this gap developing, just getting smaller and smaller, and Risa looks to go down the inside a little bit, but he does have DRS and he's using his ERS. Toma isn't using his ERS to defend, and Risa goes round the outside. Makes it look cool as you like, but he hits the wall. He outbrakes himself. Risa uses all of his ERS, whereas Toma didn't use any. He didn't use any of his ERS at all. And maybe this will come to bite Risa in his bum. But he will have to slow down. Toma will have to get out of the way of Julian in a little bit. If this race continues as it is, he would have lapped everyone bar 2 drivers. He doesn't have any wing damage at all. Blue flags are waving. Blue flag, blue flag. As the great Sebastian Vettel once said, blue flag, blue flag. Toma will have to let Julian through, but he wants to keep this battle going on with Risa. There we go. Julian is finally past Toma. Let's hop on aboard BMP Fox. Is nearly a minute. He's just nearly a minute behind Julian. And this is just looking so easy for Julian. But let's hop on board with Bats. He is 3 tenths behind Showen, and he did get on the curb a little bit. Yeah, it's a great job from Fox. He is in P2. He is 55 seconds behind the leader though. He is just ending sector 2 now, and Julian, the leader, is just going around the first corner. It's a good job from Fox. He's on 25 lap old mediums. But he does have Andy very close to the back of him. He's only on 7 lap old tyres, and he just breezes past him. He just makes it look so easy. As now I think Fox is really starting to feel the tyre wear. Unless he has wing damage, it doesn't look like he does. He may just be really feeling how bad the tyres are. But Toma has dropped back. They're just trying to look after the tyres as much as they can. So what looked like it could be a podium finish for Toma is now looking like it will be P6. Yeah, will most likely be P6 for Toma, which is not a bad finish by anyone's standards. But I think as soon as Julian pulled this gap, there was just no looking back. He just said, I'm full steam ahead, and just charged through everyone. And he might be looking This is the final lap. Let's hop on board with the position changes for the final time. Andy is up 1, PMP Fox is up 1, Risa is up 2, Toma's up 1, Dobby's down 1, Eden is up 4, Luca's down 1, Santero's up 7, Showen's up 4, Bats is up 1, Dreamsy's up 1, and Luca weaving across the line. Does slow it down, but there we have it. Risa has finished, Toma has finished, Dobby jumped both Risa and Toma. Eden does have a Luca behind, and this might be a very late charge from Luca, but I don't think he will get Eden, and Luca will be confined to 8th place. Eden in 7th. Santero, I do believe, will finish 9th. Let's just have a look at these penalties. Fastest lap was Julian. Let's have a look at these penalties. Yeah, it will be Santero. It will be Shown, and then Bats. And then PMP Fox has just crossed the line, and he will be 3rd, and Andy's in 2nd. The last person to cross the line is Bats. Great job from Fox. Santero, of course, driver of the day. Very good drive from Santero, but of course a very, very good drive from Fox. So it wasn't quite what we had predicted before this race, but I think everyone predicted that Julian would get first. Everyone who did predict. So the final grid is Julian in 1st, Andy 2nd, Fox rounding off the podium, Dobby in 4th, Risa 5th, Toma 6th, Eden 7th, Luca 8th, Santero 9th, Showen 10th, getting the last point position, Bats in the 11th, Dreamsy in 12th, and then the people who didn't finish: F1 Addict, Stinner, Dominator, Pricey, Boogeyman, and Die Miles. Now it's probably going to be very hard to see the fastest pit stop, but at the moment, Risa, it's Dobby at the moment, and I think it is Dobby with the fastest pit stop of the race. Lap 11 from soft to mediums, 2.551 seconds, which is 1,000th second faster, 1,000th faster than Fox and Risa. But yeah, this has been round 5 of Monaco for TUF1. We will see you next week at Vietnam, and I do believe on Wednesday we do have TUF2 at, we do have them at Silverstone, the British GP. But yeah, this has been myself, Quinn, and we'll see you next week, next Monday at Vietnam.